Hey everybody, how's it going? This isn't gonna be a long stream. I just wanted to hop on here because I just finished watching the new episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 22. Um, I'm only making this video because, and I usually do after each episode, or at least I try to, because I'm a big fan of Star Wars Theory. I'm a fan of him because he's a passionate, experienced, very knowledgeable, very respectful fan of Star Wars, of the universe that George Lucas created, of George Lucas himself. And watching his, after watch party reaction to the episode that we got recently. And he was not a fan. He did not like it very much. And after watching it, I have to agree with him a lot of this stuff. Because I'm very much of the same mindset. I grew up with Star Wars, in the George Lucas era. Episode 1 was my first Star Wars movie, and I watched them chronologically ever since then. I grew up with the Old Republic stuff. I grew up with all of the EU. There's more corners of it that I was interested in, dabbled in than others. I definitely want to try to get more into that, because I enjoy it very, very much, especially the Old Republic stuff, Republic Commando stuff. Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I wasn't and I'm not a fan of the sequels. I don't consider them to be part of my canon. And when I look at Star Wars as a whole, when I look at the galactic history, if you were, that we have right now, at the end, for all the events that happened after episode 6, I don't look at the sequels as being where it eventually goes. For me, and I know it's hard because obviously they're trying to connect it to the sequels. But for me, I kind of I delete that part of the new canon out of my brain. Not to say that there isn't cool stuff that came out of it. There definitely is. With the Kylo comic that kind of, explains how he joined the dark side and all of that. Ren and the Knights of the Ren, that was really interested me. That captured my attention. That felt more like old Star Wars, that felt like, okay, it's this group of Darksiders that they don't identify themselves as Darksiders. They're kind of like an off branch, and it's kind of like this other way of thinking of the dark side. And so that's something that really, captured my attention. The films themselves, they're beautiful looking films. Cinematography, it's really beautiful looking. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I have honestly enjoyed in the Disney era of Star Wars. Fallen Order, fantastic game that helped pull me back into Star Wars. First season Mandalorian, amazing. Second season, same thing, amazing. Season 7 of Clone Wars, same thing. Bad Batch, love the Bad Batch. there's been some episodes and stuff here and there that are little hiccups, but for the most part, really good. Tales of the Jedi, fantastic, amazing. I love that. That was George Lucas Star Wars. That felt like the Star Wars I had grown up with. Andor, I know some people have their different opinions on it. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was dark, it was gritty, it was mature. I thought it told a really good story. The beginnings of the rebellion, of at least his side of the rebellion. Kenobi, I overall, I enjoyed. I liked it. I love the parts with Vader. As Anakin and Vader, they are he's my favorite character of all fiction, of all Star Wars, of all movies. But the stuff with Reva, yeah, that took me out of it a couple times, especially the fact that, it showed that he stabbed her when she was a youngling, and she obviously survived, and then again. But overall, I did like it. I did like Kenobi. I know a lot of people didn't, but I did. I've been enjoying so far this third season of The Mandalorian, but I do agree that the plot, the point where we thought, or at least we think that we're going, right now it's hard to see that. It's hard to, there's not a clear picture, because season 1, it was, I'm trying to remember, sorry, it's been a minute. Season 1 was, trying to find out who Grogu was, what that meant for Din, what that meant for both of them, how they were going to survive, who Moff Gideon was, all of that. In season 2, obviously, Din trying to take Grogu to the Jedi. The part in Book of Boba Fett, where, they obviously got reunited. Which I do feel we maybe should have gotten it this season. But now at this point, it's been kind of jumping all over the place, because it's like, okay, Din redeemed himself, which, that obviously was a plot point. Which that was good. That gave us, they did that pretty quickly. And then it was, oh, holy shit, the Mythosaur. What's that gonna entail? What's gonna happen with that? And also the Darksaber. What's gonna happen with that? But ever since then, they've skipped around. I mean, they have obviously, been where it's retake Mandalore. How are we going to retake Mandalore? What does it mean to retake Mandalore? Does it mean the actual planet, or does it mean just us as a people? Which this episode very much touched on. And I definitely did like the overall plot of the episode. Some of it, yes, it could have been done and over with quicker than it needed to be. A lot of the beginning part of Bo and Din meeting, the Lord and Lady of this planet, Jack Black and Lizzo's character. Or characters, sorry. That could have been done and over with faster than it needed to have been drawn out. I mean, the droid plot was interesting, but again, some of that could have been progressed. it was interesting for sure. You know, I did enjoy the, you know, where they were researching, looking into what was happening with the droids. That was very interesting. That felt kind of like a Clone Wars episode. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of it where it's like, why does this need to be here right now? And I mean, not to say, you know, I'm not completely going to rag on, and I want to make something very, very clear. And I know, you know, hopefully as I gain more people in the community, you know, hopefully you as a viewer, hopefully you come to like me as a content creator, come to like me as a fellow Star Wars fan, which is first and foremost. I'm not here for, you know, to become insanely popular. I'm not here to, you know, to clickbait people. I'm not here to beg for money. I'm not here to sell myself out just so I can get successful. I'm here to be a real passionate Star Wars fan. That's first and foremost. And to connect with you all, to, you know, interact with the community, because that's something that I actually really enjoyed and found when I started watching Star Wars Theory, was I connected with that Star Wars community. And I never really had a chance to do that growing up. It was really awesome. It was really nice to be able to do that. And so now for me, I have a platform to be able to do that and to connect and talk and, you know, theorize and brainstorm and all of that with all of you. That's what is really important to me. I mean, yes, I hope that this channel does help in ways financially for me. You know, that is a real world, real life, you know, goal and hope. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'm just being open and honest, and that is something that I want, or, you know, that I hope happens. But anyways, all of that is to say, I'm not a Disney shill. You know, I definitely don't agree with a lot of things that Disney has and continues to do with a lot of its properties that has access to now. There's stuff that I do like, but then there's stuff where it's like, why are you pandering? Why are you pandering? Why are you appealing to people that either they're kind of bandwagon fans? And I know that that's a term that can be thrown around kind of harshly, but there are a large amount of people that just watch The Mandalorian for Grogu, and that's it. And I'm not saying like I don't want and I don't welcome those people. It's just Disney as a company, they are more focused on, they're more concerned about, you know, how can we push this product out? How can we make it appeal to everyone? How can we pander to people? And that's really unfortunate, because George didn't do that. George, he made movies because he was passionate. He made movies because he looked at his universe and he said, it doesn't matter. I don't have to make, I don't have to show, I don't have to have characters that fit these certain parameters, these certain, you know, boxes for people to enjoy it. People should enjoy Star Wars because they enjoy the universe, because they enjoy the story, they enjoy the characters, they enjoy how it makes you feel, they enjoy how, you know, it connects people. And yeah, some of what Disney has done with Star Wars, with Marvel, it falls short of that. There's less passion and there's more, how can we draw people in? So, like I said, I'm not a Disney shill. You know, I'm not here for because I love Disney Star Wars. I'm here because I love Star Wars. I want to see how these people are hopefully inspired by George, are hopefully inspired by the stories he created to continue it. I will admit, you know, these things do make me kind of worry and kind of shake my faith and trust and hope in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I hope that the season ends really, really good, really, really strong. I really do. You know, I hope that we get these last 2 episodes are absolute bangers. I hope that they are longer, honestly, in content. I hope that the stories are concise. I hope that they come to everything in the season so far comes and meshes together and makes sense overall for the plot. I really, really do. Now, there is one thing that I enjoyed, but also at the same time I wasn't sure about with the episode, is I really enjoyed the ending. I did. I enjoyed that they had Bo challenge Axe. At the same time, I thought it was kind of weird because, you know, the whole episode she was basically telling Din to try and handle things more diplomatically. But at the same time, maybe she could see that he wasn't going to back down. That she had to challenge him. And so I did really enjoy that because that definitely reminded me of, you know, those episodes. Not only with Darth Maul and Pre Vizsla, but in season 7 with the Battle of Mandalore, or the Siege of Mandalore, sorry. The hand-to-hand combat, that was awesome. That was done very well. But then the end with Din giving her the Darksaber. I know a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, cool, they're, you know, trying to make Bo the leader of Mandalore and Mandalorians again and everything with, you know, the Darksaber and with the Mythosaur. Which I get and I understand. I'm not saying, you know, because she's a woman, she can't do that. No, I'm not saying that. Because I do think she can be a good leader, but I think her time for that has passed. She's had those opportunities multiple times, but every time she's failed. And I feel like as much as Din doesn't want to be the ruler, to rule, I feel like he actually is the best one because he has this different perspective. He has a lot of experiences. I mean, look at how he deals and talks with different species, you know, with Tuskens, with Ugnaughts, with, I forget other species that he's talked to, that he knows their cultures, he knows, you know, their ways, how to respect them and everything. That's very indicative of a leader, and a good leader, a leader that cares about his people, or her people, you know, a leader that cares about their people. And I mean, with how we have been I don't know if I want to say shown, but if, you know, how they've portrayed Grogu in, you know, the chart of his path, it seems like eventually they're going to have him become the next Mandalorian Jedi. You know, they're going to have him become the next Pre Vizsla. And I hope that that's going to happen. But the only way they could see that happening, and the best way I could see that happening, is if his now father figure, Din, has the Darksaber. Has, I'll say because it's the only one that we know of that's alive right now, has the Mythosaur. You know, to rule the Mandalorians. And with them now saying that Bo is going to do it, I don't know. I mean, obviously, maybe they're gonna, you know, they're gonna pull a fast one on us, and Din is gonna tame the Mythosaur or something like that, and that will trump the Darksaber rule and everything. Which I have to say, the Darksaber rule that can get very, very messy. That is a rule and a law and all of that can get very messy. So yeah, I really hope that these last 2 episodes that they'll be bangers, that, you know, get back on track. I really, really hope. Please, John and Dave. Eric Folima and, you know, the other, I don't know, the other director that's directing another, you know, other episode, that they will either tease or have at the very end of Thrawn. I really, really do. Because then that'll, you know, hype us up for Ahsoka. It'll tie into Ahsoka. I do hope that we'll see Sabine, maybe Ahsoka again. So we'll tie into that. I just hope that they will end on a high note. I hope that they will get us back on track. Will, you know, get us back, okay. You know, this stuff, because of how Mandalore is, because of how Mandalorians are, that's why the season has been pacing and plot-wise a little messy. But now we're back on track. This is where we're going. Because I do really hope that the eventuality, that the final culmination of all of these shows, of Mandalorian, of Ahsoka, if they're going to bring it back, Rangers of the New Republic, Book of Boba Fett, I hope that they all will come to and culminate in this big, final, huge battle between the remnants of the Empire, any Mandalorians that side with them, any other forces that are with them, versus the Mandalorians, versus, you know, if Ahsoka is there, versus any rebels, any of that. It'll be this huge, awesome battle with, you know, hopefully the Mandalorians and all of that succeeding and taking Mandalore or wherever. That's what I'm hoping for. I really do. I still believe, I still hold out hope that Star Wars can get back to that point that it was with George. Not completely, obviously, as, you know, George is no longer in charge, but I hope we can get back there. And I gotta be honest with you, because that's who I am. I do hope someday, and it's not that I'm saying this because, you know, I personally dislike her. It's from it's from I don't agree with what she's done with the IP that she's been given, but I do hope that somehow Kathleen Kennedy doesn't remain the president of Lucasfilm. I really do. I know there's probably people out there that are gonna be like, oh, you know, that's horrible, and oh, you know, you'd be canceled and all of that. That's my honest opinion. I think she is not making the right decisions for Star Wars. I don't think she has. I don't think she is. I mean, if you have one of your main creators getting angry at you, getting upset when you're on set of the show that he created because you're pushing your ideas, your ideals, and all of that on the show that he's trying to make, that's very disrespectful. That's very rude. You know, no matter your position, that's you using your position as a leverage of power, and that's not right. That's disrespectful. That's not constructive. That's not... George would never do that. George would be constructive. You know, he'd be like, hey, you know, some of this stuff is really great, you know, what you did here, you know, this is really cool, but what if we, you know, went here? You know, what if we did this? What if we changed this? You know, and then he would explain, you know, reasons why, because of lore and all of that and everything, and they need someone like that. And maybe John is somebody that could fill that role. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. But just something needs to change. It really does. And I just hope that people will wake up to that more and more. That people will realize that that's where it needs to head. You know, that's where things need to end up. That's my hopes. That's my thoughts. I still love Star Wars. I always will. But yeah, some of these moments just it shakes that, you know, it shakes it. It makes you double think. It makes you wonder. I mean, personally, I already got slapped in the face. I already got, you know, my passion bruised from the sequel trilogy. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want that to continue to possibly happen. Yeah, I know some of you might be like, oh, you know, you're sensitive, you're a snowflake. No, I am a passionate person. I'm a passionate fan. Star Wars growing up meant the world to me, and it has, and it will continue to. It really helped me in a lot of dark times in my life, and it continues to, and I mean, I'm right tearing up. Yeah. You know, everybody's passionate about something. I think it's a very hateful, mean, not respectful, not loving thing to look at somebody that they give a glimpse, they get guarded about something that they're so passionate about, you know, and they attack them. I try to never be like that. Sometimes when I have been, you know, I look at it afterwards, I'm like, that wasn't very nice. That was me. And if I do that, a lot of times it's more of as a joke. Like, I honestly don't mean anything by it. I'm just joking. But there are people that honestly just attack people for how they are passionate about something, and that is ugly. That's not right. I mean, Star Wars ultimately, it's about family, it's about hope, it's about love, it's about redemption. Sorry. It's about all of those things. You know, it's about heroism, it's about courage, it's about bravery. And for people to make fun of you for that is an ugly thing. Shame on those people. Honestly, shame on those people. Yeah. Sorry. Got a lot going through my head. And it's late for me too. But anyways, with that, I'll wrap this video up. Rating from 1 to 10 for the episode, I would probably give it anywhere from a 5 to a 7. So maybe a 6. Overall I did enjoy it, but yeah, there's definitely parts where why was this necessary? I definitely wish, you know, we would have gotten Gideon. We could have seen him. Hopefully he'll be in the next episode, or somebody will be in the next episode. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me though, guys. I might get the Vader big review video out tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and start working on videos more. I haven't yet. I've been doing too hot with my schedule in those terms. I've got a lot going on personally, but I really do. I want to start getting videos out. I want to start getting, you know, lore and theory videos out. I have a lot of theories about a lot of different stuff for Star Wars. I have Jedi Fallen Order theories, like about the Zepho people and, you know, their relation with the Force and all of that going forward. Yeah, got a lot in here. I just need to get it out to all of you. So, but anyways, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you all found and find this video well. I hope, you know, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever, when you watch this. And I love you all. Again, I'm so privileged and blessed and thankful for this community, for all of you, for all of, you know, passionate fans like myself, like all of us. Yeah, let's try to keep positive. Let's try and, you know, half glass full, or glass half full, sorry. But anyways, all right, see y'all later. Love you, much love. May the Force be with you always.